Well, hello, and welcome to the most generic podcast on the internet. My name is Josh Hawks. I am the 303 Ninja. And right over there, he is my podcasting partner for life. He is the other guy. It's Mr. Francis Fernandez.
Hello, everyone. Rainbow.
Rainbow?
Butterfly in the sky.
You doing lyrics to songs and shit?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, God, I forget that. Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. It's in a book. Let's take a look. It's Reading Rainbow.
Ah. Okay.
From our favorite friend of the show, LeVar Burton.
Friend of the show? You are correct. Friend of yours, more specifically.
No, friend of the show.
Well,
he's a friend of me. He's a friend of the show. Is all I'm saying. He's a friend of mine. He's automatically a friend of the show.
I suppose you are correct there. What's going on, man? How you been? It's been 7 whole days since we have legitimately spoken.
Is this been the most consistent we've ever been on a podcast where we actually like? I know we missed a couple of days last year, but not really. Right? Like, we're pretty consistent.
Yeah. I mean, we've been fairly consistent this year. We've missed a day or two, a week or two here and there, but nothing where it's been like, 2 weeks or 3 weeks where we haven't done anything.
I'm glad we're live. Oh, yeah. Well, that's the problem with being live is, you have to be here. Because I do my other podcast an episode ahead so that if either of us needs to take a day off on a Monday, like, we have an episode ready, it's okay, and we'll just double up on a day when we can record. So it ensures that we're always having episodes. Like, we always have something going out.
Which is probably smart. In the 10 years that you and I have been doing this recorded audio program thing that we do.
Yeah.
You and I have never done that. We have never banked a show or 3 and been like, all right, we're good for a week or 2. I think that's maybe not entirely true because we did that around Christmas time.
Yeah,
we've always tried to, anyway, at least have one show ready for Christmas or Christmas time, so we have something fresh.
Yeah. I used to do this with a show I did a long time ago called Critical Mode of Awesome, where Dave the drummer and I would have something called an ICE episode, which was in case of emergency. So if one of us had to take the day off, we had an episode that wasn't like relevant to the time, like to that moment. And we just popped that one in. It's like, oh, well, it's a timeless episode. Like, nobody's going to know that it's like,
It was recorded 3 months ago. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Sometimes it was like 3 months. Sometimes it's like a year. And it's like, oh, well, whatever. It's an episode where we talk about old movies.
I don't know if it's being picked up on my microphone or not, but there is a tow truck right outside, and its air brake keeps farting. So I apologize to anybody. It's not me, I swear.
Look, you have the very fancy and very moderately priced a Rode Procaster microphone. So,
yes, in conjunction with the Rode Masturbator. What is this thing called?
The Rode. It's the Rodecaster.
The Rodecaster.
Yes. Rode Procaster.
Yeah. So between the filters and effects on that, and the filters and effects within whatever program we're using here, I think we do pretty good with not catching outside noises. You remember the bird that we used to hear all the time that used to live in the attic here? Remember that bird? Yeah. Wow. That was on a different microphone, and that microphone picked up everything.
Yeah, this is luckily not one of those mics, but this is going to be a weird question. I'll ask anyway.
It's a podcast. There is no such thing.
That's true. Well, it has something to do with podcasting. I've been hearing ads on other podcasts from Acast. Okay, and aren't we on Acast?
We might be. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
We're on like 12 different places you can find podcasts. I can't recall if that is one of them, but I will look. Okay. I will write it down.
So anyway, Acast is just like a service that says, do you have something to say? You should make a podcast. So I think, this is kind of sad, really, but I think podcasting has become probably one of the most oversaturated mediums now. next to YouTubers, right?
Totally.
Like it's the YouTuber and then the podcaster.
Mm-hmm.
I miss the days when podcasting was inaccessible to other people. When it was hard because they had to buy equipment and they had to know how to record and they had to be able to speak into a mic properly.
Right.
I miss those days when people were bad. I mean, they're probably still bad, but like I miss those days where you and I, having done this for over a decade,
and I still haven't figured out how to mute my phone during those 10 years. So,
radio people who even more. Look at that again.
Yeah, well, I'm a fucking popular person.
Look at mine muted and at my side, but I ignore it except for the fact that I need to retweet the tweet that you put out. But I'm just saying, how kind of, this is gonna sound bad, obnoxious is it that like our thing? I feel like our thing is getting invaded a little bit. Like I don't know. I used to feel like it's
like
our thing.
like podcasting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know what you were talking about there. Okay.
Right. I don't know.
I mean, having prices for equipment come way down in the 10 years that we've been doing this. I didn't even look at microphones for like the first couple of years. I was just like, man, I hope I can just secure something.
Yeah.
Now that everything is becoming more and more available, it is becoming oversaturated.
And look, I welcome
totally. Welcome everybody in.
Yeah.
And it's odd. It's kind of like being at a job and you see the people that don't do anything or like that aren't team players get promoted or get the better job. And you're like, wait, how is that guy now have a better job than me when he doesn't ever come to work? How does that, or whatever the case, right?
I know,
fill in example wherever you want. It's odd.
Have you ever recorded with somebody who just blew up into something bigger than us, like seemingly overnight? And it was just somebody who's like, oh, yeah, I want to record with you one day. And they just kind of randomly record with you one day. And then all of a sudden they're like a powerhouse in podcasting. Has that ever happened to you?
No.
See, I know someone who I invited on a show I did once, which was my most popular episode, weirdly enough, of that particular show. And they went off to do their own podcast that did so well. Like they made it onto like, they made it into the iTunes podcast. They're like in the rankings. That's how popular it got. And I'm like, I've been doing this for 10 freaking years.
Right.
And like, I can't get into any ranking of any sort anywhere.
I can't.
Just like popped.
I can't even get the Raspberry Award or nothing.
Yeah. Right? Like we're not good enough to be in the Oscars. We're not bad enough to be in the Razzies.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Razzies. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Like we're not even trauma bad. Right.
Look, this is the way I've always looked at it. Until you get trolled, you really ain't shit.
That's true.
10 years.
That's very true.
I've gotten some shitty comments. My old website way back in the day got taken over by Al Qaeda.
Sure.
It had like fucking videos and propaganda and shit. It was fucked up. And then, but one thing you did say that, somebody's here. Who is it? Yo Mela, what's up? Yo Melia, sorry. He's here, and he said, yo. It's okay to be late to the party, because we were late starting.
Actually, not late. Yeah, we started late, so you're technically not even remotely late to the party.
Yeah, we haven't really even opened the Ziploc to this fucking sandwich yet or anything.
Sandwich.
Not a big fan of sandwiches, Francis, because I have to eat them a lot at the workplace because that's what they provide for food sometimes, and I work really early in the morning, and come on, Swiss, No. Something just got blocked by him. Hang on a second.
Oh, ha ha ha.
Yeah. So let's get it up here. Don't feel too bad. Some dude's plumbing fleet truck turned up in an ISIS video. That sucks.
Oh, the word ISIS is why it got.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, it got flagged. I saw that. I saw that. What was I saying?
That you eat sandwiches at work.
Yeah. So I work. I start work at 5 a.m. So my lunch is at 9, and a sandwich just doesn't, unless it's a breakfast sandwich full of eggs and bacon and some cheese or something, maybe some maple syrup or something. Like, I don't want a sandwich. So
yeah,
sandwiches are for noon and later.
Oh yeah, true. You're not wrong. Actually, sandwiches are for noon and later.
Yeah.
Sandwiches are for sellers or whatever. Oh God, I don't remember the movie. What is it? I don't know. Anyway,
okay.
Winners get wings is all I know. Winners get wings. But yeah. So anyway, that's all. I want to rant a little bit just because, it baffles me. Like I don't know. Like I wonder what the secret sauce is and how we, after having done this for so long, we just haven't seemed to find whatever makes an In-N-Out burger an In-N-Out burger. Right? We don't know what that special sauce is.
Well, I always thought that we had what we needed. We both have a face for radio. Oh, yeah. Like we both have a voice. We both definitely have a voice for radio. I definitely have a face for radio. That's for damn sure. Radio dink dink, even though this is in front of everybody right now.
It's radio. It's internet radio.
Yeah. We've gotten celebrities. We've gotten big names. LeVar Burton is a friend of the show.
Yeah.
But it's just we're missing whatever. Yeah, the secret sauce, the special sauce, the Big Mac sauce.
Yeah, the Big Mac sauce. All I want is actually I want a lot. Just because, I kind of, I see it. I listen to these. I'm a big podcast listener, right? And I listen to these podcasts where after 2 years, they go from like, oh yeah, I remember 2 years ago we had like 10 listeners, and now they have, 100,000 plus every episode, and I'm like, how did you do that in 10 years? Are our personalities so poisonous or something that we will like? I think like we get along, like we enjoy each other's company, like it's a good time, we have fun, we laugh, and like we talk about crazy things, and yet no sauce.
No, it sometimes is, especially when you are again not too late, Ginger, not too late. We haven't even really started.
We haven't even started on the topics yet. We're just ranting.
But it's what was I gonna say?
Special sauce.
Something that you won't hear on here are ads. Probably for the same reason, Francis, because our personalities are so poor that not even Fleshlight wants to do business with us.
Or Manscaped or something. Or
NordVPN.
NordVPN. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, we know the ads, Squarespace and all this stuff. Like, we know what the ads are.
Let's do all the ads right now.
No.
Why? Exactly. No, I'm joking, but I'm just like.
But anyway, I don't know. I'm done. Rant over. It's just
we
get that off my chest.
Every time. Be careful. Nah, fuck it. Every time that I've even talked to people about sponsorship, and I'm like, hey, what are you gonna do to scratch my nuts? And they're like, we're giving you sponsorship. And I'm like, cool, but what about your audience? My audience, you're gonna hit all of my audience, but what about the rest of your audience? Mm-hmm. Shouldn't you expose me to your audience? And every time they're just like, well, we don't do that. Like, all right, well, I guess I'm not very interested then, because if you're not going to scratch my nuts at all, why should I scratch yours?
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, how do you convince someone to be like, yeah, no, look, we're worth it, but then, are we?
I mean,
like, I don't know.
Every time that we've gotten a sponsorship outside of our good friend,
yeah,
AJ,
yeah,
outside of that, every sponsorship I have asked, like, okay, so we put stuff out, we do your ad, we put it out there, it's organic, sounds better than the script you provided. Right. Like, are you gonna reshare or share my stuff?
Well,
they're always
the thing with yeah. Go on, sorry.
They're just always like, nope, we don't. We have so many people that we sponsor, we can't do that.
Right. Technically, what we're supposed... Well, because I understand the purpose of sponsorship, right? You sponsor a product, and they reward you with money. So anyone who uses a code, they're supposed to give you money.
Right. But if your audience isn't very big to begin with, how's your audience supposed to grow? Your audience isn't going to grow because you have a sponsorship.
No, but
right. But if the sponsor says, here are the podcasts that we sponsor currently, you should check these guys out because we back them up. Put a PDF out once a month, or whatever.
Yeah. And then there's like 1,000 podcasts on there, and how are we going to stand out?
Look, Francis.
I'm just saying that
I
if anyone in the audience wants to sponsor us, we'll talk about wrestling.
We have made organic as hell, things happen. We have talked about. I have had scripts in front of me, and I went, nope, not doing that. I'll stay in the vein of what you want me to do, but I ain't doing what you sent me.
Right.
And we've made it work. We've gotten all the words that needed to be said, spelled out whatever needed to be said. We can do it, sponsors.
Call to action.
Yeah, we can do it. Take a chance on us. I don't know what really to talk about first, Francis.
Well, I don't even know because we didn't actually discuss
what
you had on the docket. So I have no idea what you want to talk about. Let's just you close your eyes and drop your finger down and let's see what it lands on.
What if it lands in my ass like most of the time?
Well, then we could talk about
it. Here's something. Did you see today, Francis, that the people that look over us, I don't know which entity it was, but they said that rainwater is now officially unsafe to drink.
Oh yeah, I said. Funny thing is, I did see that. I forget. Maybe it's the World Health Organization or something. But one of the 3-letter organizations said that rainwater is no longer safe to drink. Now, I've never. I mean. Now, is that just in cities, or like if you're in the middle of the rainforest, can you drink that water to survive?
Well,
like,
I mean, I don't believe the article I looked at had a fucking map of where it was legal and not legal.
It's not illegal. It's just bad for you. It's just going to kill you.
Yeah. Like, but they didn't justify or specify that, like, rainforest rainwater is better because it's filtered by the rainforest.
Filtered by the rain. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh wow. I haven't looked at BGR in forever.
Forever chemicals all up in your bloodstream, brain, muscles, and lungs. What is it?
Forever chemical. Wow. Yeah, there's a bunch of just like acronyms that make water bad. I think it's because we live in a world with a bunch of smog and like a bunch of. LA specifically, like if you don't know where you are if you don't see that thick layer of brown against the blue sky. you don't see that blanket of brown air. You're like, where the hell am I?
The brown cloud.
There's always a brown haze that just kind of like sits on top of the world. But okay, so Swiss says, what? All up in your bloodstream? Oh, that's what you said. Yeah. Chems that they're not regulating. Oh, well, in that case, okay. Yeah. Now I'm curious: is it safer to drink water from Mexico or rainwater?
No, well, I would ask you who's going outside in the rain and just standing there with their mouth wide open.
I used to as a kid. Like when I was a kid, I would do that. Sure.
Oh, okay. Well.
I'd be like, "Oh, it's raining," my tongue out, just drinking the water.
Now I really shouldn't say. I shouldn't say anything because I used to eat snow all the fucking time.
Right. See,
No,
so,
we weren't a very wealthy family back in the day, and not that we are now, but we weren't a very wealthy family. And
Sure.
Instead of, and I don't know if it was instead of, but there was a treat that would get thrown into bowls and served to us called snow cream, which I'm pretty sure was just snow with some sugar and some vanilla extract, like,
or condensed milk or something.
so probably, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it was just snow, vanilla, and some sugar,
Okay.
and it was delicious.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if it's anything like Italian Ice, it probably was.
Funny enough that you mentioned that, Francis. I watched a lady who is no longer alive apparently, but had a cooking show or cooking channel or whatever on the YouTubes about depression cooking.
Oh, well,
Foods from the Depression. And
oh, I see. I just thought you meant like sad cooking, but no, Depression era cooking.
No, well, I mean that would still apply, wouldn't that? Not for the Depression.
Yeah.
But did a thing on Italian Ice, and it was basically just water with some fucking sugar in it, stirring it while it froze, and then put some, what'd she do? Lemon and lime in one, and vanilla extract in another. And so it wasn't like the stuff that you and I went to, and wherever where the hell was that? Was that L.A.?
It was near Anaheim. It was
Anaheim. Let's call it Anaheim.
Yeah.
It wouldn't, it's not going to be as presentable as that thing was, but
no, that was great. I loved it. I was really happy with it. It's probably, again, I kind of want it again because it's so simple yet so delicious.
Well,
but anyway, yes.
I'm sure you're not terribly far from it. I'm sure you could take a small jaunter that way and get you some Italian Ice.
So Depression era. So who is this person? It was
Depression
I don't know.
Era. I believe her first name was Clara, and I can't give you any further information.
Oh, here it is, Clara Canucciari.
I believe
she's a very old lady. Oh my goodness, she looks very, very aged.
Yeah,
good for her.
Yeah, so it was, I'd run across it a couple times because it's very odd, Francis. I could care less how food is actually made, but if you're gonna make a video of showing food being made, I'm probably gonna watch it. It's weird. It's a weird dichotomy that I have.
But yeah, Ginger says sweetened condensed milk also. Yeah, see, yeah. I'm all about that sweet condensed milk.
Well, yeah. I mean, who isn't?
I don't know who is.
I bet you someone who might want some sweetened condensed milk that isn't probably going to get any for anywhere between, I'm going to guess, 15 and 25 years.
What happened?
Ezra Miller.
Oh, God.
The WB's movie Flash was picked up and charged with felony burglary.
Stole alcohol from someone's home.
Stolen? Are you fucking? You're joking.
Yeah, that was it.
How much alcohol do you have to steal for it to be a felony?
I went to.
Or is it the burglary? Wait, what part of the burglary makes it felony? Because you can't. You can't just be the alcohol he stole to bring it up to a fucking felony charge.
Well, here in California, if you steal something over $1,000, it's a felony. Under that, it's a misdemeanor.
Okay.
So I went to the local Costco just the other day, and there was a
I stole $499.
Yeah. Well, outside of stealing the $499, there was a $3,600 bottle of some kind of alcohol in
at
like
Costco.
A glass at Costco. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, why is there a $3,600 bottle of whatever the hell this thing is, like cognac or something? And I'm like, okay, if he stole that, that's a felony burglary. That's a felony because it's $3,000. So he might have done that.
That's
look.
that's
The WB is screwed. That's all you need to know.
right. Yeah, I mean, I think I saw something the other day that said that they're highly considering. Maybe it was an opinion piece, but highly considering just restarting the entire DC MU movie.
DCEU.
EU.
It's the extended universe.
All right. Well, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
They just might need to just stop and reboot the whole thing.
Vermont State Police were notified of a burglary complaint from a resident in Stamford at 5:55 p.m. on May 1st. So this is a long time ago. Police found that several bottles of alcohol, so several, were taken from the residence while the homeowners were not present. After collecting statements and looking for this surveillance video, police found probable cause to charge Ezra Miller with felony burglary into an unoccupied dwelling. So Ezra Miller, who just is like, well, I don't know if there's alcohol in this house, but I might as well check and see.
Right.
Because how does the dude know that there's like alcohol in there, right? And just like saunters in, steals several bottles of alcohol, and he's recognizable. Like he has a recognizable face.
Sure.
Like, you know.
Also, you would recognize somebody crawling in and out of a window, going in empty-handed and coming out with several bottles of alcohol.
You think he'd run faster, you know, and be like a blur if he was gonna go. And steal.
Well, he's not the drunken master. He's supposed to be the fucking master of speed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He'll be a blur. It's so fast, just a blur.
That was a different WB thing. That guy never did any drugs and alcohol.
No, yes not. Oh, you know that we know of.
That we know of.
Yeah. No, they just need to. Discovery needs to just burn it all.
Now, hold that thought on that Discovery thing there. But, shit. All right, fuck it. I forgot what I was wanting to say because I wanted to stop you about the Discovery thing.
Was it about Ezra Miller? Was it about the Flash? Was it about?
I was probably gonna try and make a funny about it all, but now it's fucking gone because I didn't want you to go into talking too much about Discovery. But since we are, fuck it. Which I guess I didn't know the WB was tied into this Discovery thing, but I did see that HBO is now under Discovery's umbrella as well. And they're going to rebrand HBO Max next year to something else and kill a bunch of HBO Max original programming or something.
They already did, actually. They already deleted like a bunch of movies from HBO. They canceled a bunch of movies that were going to be out that were already done. I don't know what's happening.
What is happening? Because, excuse me, do you remember when Discovery was just this small little educational program that was legitimately about educating the people and having real programming about animals and science and then they were like, all right, cool, we got that established. Now let's make another channel, the Learning Channel. And let's put more educational stuff on there. And then somebody woke up one day and was like, let's find a disturbed family that somehow wants to be on TV. And let's go from there. And then they found the science guy with the alien guy with the fucking hair and
aliens.
I guess that's a History Channel, but that's still under the Discovery Channel umbrella.
Sure.
What happened? Discovery used to just be this little channel that nobody really paid attention to until like 91 or so, and then they got the Learning Channel and the History Channel, and then America's something. I can't remember what channel it was called. America's something.
I mean, you kind of answered your own question, right? Like nobody watched them because they were a learning channel. They were an educational channel. And they're like, nobody wants to be educated. Are you kidding me? People want to see freaks. Let's get the learning channel and do it and make it the Freak Show Network. Let's go and put, all of these random people with a million babies or are like really large or, have really or like to eat tinsel because they're addicted to tinsel. Like, let's do all these weird shows because people like that stuff, right? People go crazy over this shit. Let's go make these shows, and then they're like, oh yeah, let's do that. While Discovery was still like, oh, we're gonna do what was it the Mythbusters, and we're gonna do like all these shows where we get to do science and mystery. And Swiss is absolutely right. Like, reality TV is kind of what ruins everything in terms of ROI with production costs, right? Like, because reality TV is like pennies in comparison to like a documentary where you have to fly out somewhere or like a scripted TV show,
right?
Or something.
You got to get David Attenborough to do the voiceover. He costs $20 a word.
Yeah, that's why you get, at the time, other British presenters who weren't famous yet at the time, like Benedict Cumberbatch did a thing about penguins, and he kept calling them penwings. And, he was made fun of because his entire documentary he called penguins penwings. But anyway, so that's why his Discovery's doing this. Like, look, we have money. We need content. Let's buy these companies and let's make something. Like, let's do something weird and different.
Yeah,
DC's failing.
I did not know that the WB, whatever the CW, whatever the fuck they're called, did they buy the CW? Did they buy Warner Brothers?
They bought Warner Brothers,
okay,
which technically CW is a part of.
Okay, so they buy the WB. I didn't know this. I had no idea. And so DC falls under that.
Well, Warner Brothers owns DC.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So with the
TV and movies, I suppose, yeah.
Right, yeah. Because so that's the reason why. There's a game out right now called Multiverses. Have you heard of this game? It's a free game on your computer or other systems. And it has like Batman fighting Bugs Bunny and like LeBron James fighting the Iron Giant, right? Like all of these weird kind of amalgamations of stuff. But
we would probably talk about it more if they were our sponsor, but
No, Jesus. Exactly the sponsor. Oh man.
And Steam apparently has been pushing pretty hard this game you're talking about.
Well, it's supposed to be a Smash Brothers Melee competitor, right? Because it's the same exact kind of mechanics where you have a health bar, and the higher it goes, the more likely to punch them off the screen and then getting the win, right? So it's the same exact dynamic, but you're using cartoons and characters from Warner Brothers, and it's free. That's the other thing; it's free. So I get why they're pushing it, because people, they want people to pay for their free stuff.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, so you can say goodbye to HBO Max.
Yeah, as we know it, I guess it'll be something else next year. So then, I guess what you really can say is probably goodbye to Discovery Plus.
No, it's going to be under the name Discovery Plus.
You think that everything is going to be under Discovery? Wow.
Yeah, which is a bad move because nobody cares about Discovery Plus, but they're the parent company.
Right.
They're the top of the top of the food chain. So they're going to be the ones that are going to say, like, we don't need HBO Max, which is a big mistake. We need to be called Discovery, maybe even called HBO Discovery. Even that might be like their name for the service or whatever.
Who'd have thought, Francis, that the little channel that was like, you know what? Let's dedicate a whole week to sharks.
Yeah.
And then 20 5 years later. No.
Yeah, give or take.
30 years.
Take, yeah.
30 years later.
Okay, 30, sure.
30 years later, they're buying companies that have been around for 100+ years. Like, what the fuck?
Well. I mean,
Warner Brothers has been around
West.
Warner Brothers has been around for 100 years.
Yeah, but Warner Brothers was I think, because Warner Brothers was bought out by somebody else before they got bought out by Disney, by Discovery. Oh, I said Disney. Which, at some point Disney's gonna own everything.
You know it wasn't Disney because they're not going to let it go.
Yeah, and Disney will. Oh God. Anyway, so
yeah. Maybe Mr. Ezra Miller can get a job at Discovery, HBO Plus, Max offices as a janitor. Maybe he could still wear his Flash suit and he could just clean the bathroom really fast.
He, next to Amber Heard, he's kind of one of the most hated kind of actors in that world. Like, people really hate Ezra Miller for who he is as a person. So,
Yeah, we all had such high hopes last summer when we saw that little teaser for the Flash movie. Was it for the Flash movie? Yeah, it's for the Flash movie.
It was for the Flash movie, yeah.
And seeing Ezra Miller in a Batman suit painted red.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And getting so hyped that possibly that Michael Keaton would be in it. Yeah.
Well, Michael Keaton is in it.
Well, it doesn't fucking matter because they don't have a Flash anymore.
That's true. And he was in Batgirl, and that's no longer a thing.
That still just blows my mind that a company, regardless of what the product or service the company provides, to just take $90 million and set it on fire.
Tax write-off.
In front of everybody.
They get to write it off in their taxes next year.
That's great. What about everybody that fucking spent the last 6 months working on it that just literally got kicked in the nuts by what studio are we talking about? WB?
Warner Brothers.
Yeah, so just got kicked in the nuts by the Animaniacs.
Yeah.
Well,
they got paid.
That wasn't they got paid. That wasn't a good analogy though.
Yeah, I mean, they got paid, so, like, unless people are going to get stuff at the back end, like, I mean,
who does?
It sucks that, yeah. Well, Robert Downey Jr. did. That's why he's like a billionaire almost. But, like, the only thing that sucks is that people don't get to see their finished product, right?
Right.
That's the only thing. Like, but everyone got paid. They were talking about that other movie, Scoob, Haunted Mansion or whatever, that Scooby-Doo sequel, animated sequel. And they said, yeah, we know the show was the movie was canceled, but we already paid for the orchestra and the musicians, so they continued to make the soundtrack, even though this soundtrack's never gonna go out. They were paid already, so they did a day of work. I'm like, that's stupid, but okay. Like,
it blows my mind. It blows my mind.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens when Discovery destroys DC.
As someone who's never had much money ever, to just see a company just sure, people got paid, great, but to just shit can a project like that is just if I was even if I was a Foley artist on that movie, I'd question my entire existence. Like, what am I doing? Like, I worked this hard. Yeah, sure, I got paid, but I worked this hard for fucking nothing.
Yeah.
It was a practice event that I got paid for.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, you hone your craft, but when I'm done jerking off, if I don't have something to show for it, I'm a little disappointed.
Right. I mean, yeah. and people were really excited because Brendan Fraser was in it as the bad guy, and like it was a bunch of
And
actors.
we're all rooting for Brendan Fraser to come back and shit.
Well, yeah. Like I want him to weirdly come back in like a weird proper Mummy sequel, and I'd love to see him come back that way as like an older Indiana Jones-esque type character.
What
I mean,
about
like Harrison Ford's doing it like 75 or 80 or whatever age he is. He can do it. He's just not that old.
what about Encino Man 2, where we finally get the sequel and figure out what Link and the frozen lady were have been up to for the last 25 years?
No, I want. Was it Blast from the Past? What was it?
Oh, that was a
One
good
where
one
he
too.
was stuck in, the one with the bunker and
Yeah.
Christopher Walken as his dad who drank boiled Dr. Pepper.
I don't remember the fine details, but I remember the movie.
That's the only part I remember because it's at the very beginning
Okay.
where they think there's a nuclear blast.
Right.
They go down and he starts off like the 80s or 90s or whatever, cooking Dr. Pepper in a pan before drinking it. It's like, oh, that's so gross.
You would think that would take out the carbonation.
They don't care. It's like
I'm just saying. No, I'm
remember.
just like I'm legitimately now. I'm not talking movie magic. I'm legitimately talking. I think if you were to warm up, cook soda, I think you would cook the carbonation out of it.
Well, soda back in the day used to be considered medicine, so you never know.
That's true.
Like,
but
he
they're
probably
also
thought it was like, oh, this is great for my back.
yeah, but yeah. So cocaine was also used as medicine as well. So
Well, yeah. I mean, kind of still is.
man, well, that's true. I mean, I know a guy that gets ketamine treatments, and I'm like, wait, you get date raped by your doctor? He's like,
Oh, it's not ketamine. Ketamine is like, isn't ketamine like a muscle thing? Like a.
it's some sort of a tranquilizer of some kind.
All right. I don't know.
I guess I don't fucking know.
Yeah. I have no idea either.
I'm not into needles. If you can, if it's a green plant that you can harvest and then, smoke the flowers, I'm all about that.
Well, according to Harvard, it's now being used. Ketamine is now being used for depression. So there you go. You feel
that
down, go take some ketamine.
That makes sense with the person and who I was talking about then.
There you
go.
go.
You know what works pretty well instead of ketamine, Francis?
What works?
Going to art festivals.
I don't know about that.
What do you mean?
All right.
How does that not? How does that not fix? How can that not fix or help? I guess social anxiety.
It makes you sad when you see how people think they're talented, but they're not. sorry for people who are.
Ouch.
I'm sorry.
Ouch.
I know you guys are talented. Some of you are, for sure.
But no, it was. Look, I'm all about food trucks. Wherever there's a food truck,
Wait.
There were food trucks at this thing, right?
Oh, I'm like, was the art?
The art was cool. The art was cool.
Okay.
It's in the art district of Denver. So just like for blocks, every other door is a fucking art gallery.
Yeah, no, I know that. I mean, not that, but I know art. Yeah.
Which was
I like
one
art
part.
Districts. Art districts are fun.
It was weird though. In one area that we were walking in, it was, a restaurant, art gallery, Brazilian jiu-jitsu art. And during this art festival, they have a class going. So there's people just rolling in this little cramped, jiu-jitsu class that's right in the middle of an art fest. It was odd to see. There's people doing live painting and live music and performance stuff with the flaming sticks and juggling, and then you look over and there's just people rolling.
Well, what they should have done was cover themselves in paint and then roll around on a canvas.
That's true. That is
You
true.
could call it. You can call it the struggle of man, and just put it on that canvas.
That is true. That is true.
Be a millionaire.
I will have you know, Francis, that I had some ice cream for the first time in a million years, despite my lactose intolerance.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had lavender ice cream?
I probably did at some point.
It's
I've
weird.
used some pretty strange flavors of ice cream.
I would, if you had it, you would remember it because it's fucking weird.
I've had some pretty weird ice cream. Like we have a chain here called Salt and Straw, and they do weird stuff like that, like rose petal ice cream and like, ice cream made of the underside of your shoe.
I knew you were going to either say I was going to say the underside of your boot.
Right.
I thought that's what you were going to say. I thought that's what you were going to say, but it's funny that I knew kind of where you were going. That's fucking.
Well, yeah, because you have to, what are weird flavors, right? The underside of your boot, right? Like, that's a weird flavor. But yeah, they do weird flavors, and so yeah, lavender. I know for sure was a flavor that they had there, but it is interesting because they do lavender and everything. Tea, they do lavender cakes. And stuff.
Sure, but it's weird. I just didn't. I didn't know what to expect. I guess. So to just get a mouthful of a flower was odd.
I don't like edible flowers. I've had edible flowers. They're not that good. I don't get the point of edible flowers, but good on you if you like edible flowers.
Hey man, calories are calories.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
I mean, the jalapenos are technically flowers.
Sure. I mean, they don't have.
They start as a flower and then turn into a pepper.
Right, but the pepper's a seed.
Okay, well,
isn't it?
I don't know, dude.
I actually don't know.
Neither one of us are botanists here, so.
No.
But I've watched things grow in time lapse, and peppers start as a flower, and then, where do we get what? Ginger.
Jalapenos are fruit.
Huh. Ginger, you're saying where did you get it? Where did we get? Well, the ice cream,
the lavender
ice cream probably is some food truck at the what do they call it? The First Friday Art Festival.
Oh, that's cool. There's a place where I used to go that was First Friday, not art festival, but farmers market that I like. So
okay,
I like that they do that on Fridays.
Yeah, they run this First Friday thing. I think in the early or late spring, and then. They actually closed those streets down for this one, which was really nice because you don't want to be looking at vendors of any type and dodge traffic at the same time.
Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, I like when they shut down the streets and then you walk in the middle of the road.
Mm-hmm. That was cool. That was cool. It was a good it's a good date night. It was fun.
Ooh, date night.
Well, it was a good time. It was a good time. And the best part about it, Francis. So this particular, we took the light rail because one, it's free all this month for some reason. But the closest stop is what I and a lot of other people in Denver have always called the scariest stop on the light rail line.
Oh God, why is it scary?
Well, before it got gentrified, the area. The only thing that was there was this restaurant that had been there for 100 years.
It's still there?
It's still there. Everything around this 100-year-old restaurant was not the place you really wanted to hang out. We'll just say that.
How many needles were on the floor?
A lot.
Wow, okay.
So
all right.
if and this particular stop is a good place to change trains if you don't feel like going to one of the major hubs to change. Yes, the Buckhorn Exchange. If you want to change trains, this is one of the last places you could do it before one of the main hubs where it's incredibly busy. So I said to the girl, I said, "Oh, great. We get dropped off and have to wait at the scariest of all the stops on the light rail." Mm-hmm. And, it did not fail. At least we had some entertainment. It wasn't scary so much. Well, it could have been scary if, things went differently, but we had entertainment while waiting for the train, and crack's not good for you.
No.
It's not good for you. But it's entertaining for other people to watch if you have the right or wrong moral compass, depending on who you are. At no point in my show. At no point during this show did I think this person needs help, because I was too entertained.
They probably did, but there's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
Right. No. There's a reason why they just kind of wander around cities nowadays. Right. There's a little bit, just too many of them right now.
That is true. Francis, you went and you saw something this weekend. Did you not?
Oh,
did you?
Yeah, I saw Bullet Train, which was the Brad Pitt movie.
Bullet Train, isn't that the movie with fucking Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson?
No, that's Money Train.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, sure, money was involved in this movie.
It's the secret sequel to White Man Can't Jump.
Oh, right. Yeah. They decided after they couldn't play basketball that, never mind. No, yeah, Bullet Train. Yeah, it was a good movie. Look, I think Brad Pitt's 60 something now. I mean, he still looks really good for his age. And I forget how kind of charismatic he is. You see him in other movies, and he's a little abrasive, or he's just kind of unrelatable sometimes. Like, I think of Moneyball, where, he's kind of standoffish. I don't like him as a character in Moneyball, but, he's playing a character. He's like playing a real person. Ginger was telling me about how she was going to watch that movie, so I'm glad you liked it. But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. It has what people call Tarantino-esque violence, if you like that kind of violence. It's a lot of comedy, a lot of, I would almost say British humor. Because it's definitely a COVID movie, because it's set in one location. There's no wide shots of anything. It's in a train pretty much the entire movie, right? So it's a movie where you just kind of follow a couple of characters and you follow a couple of conversations.
So it's Snowpiercer, not after the snow melted.
It's Snowpiercer. Yeah, it's very Snowpiercer, but without having to eat bugs.
I've never seen the show. I'm just thinking because it's on a train and you don't see wide shots of anything. And
no, the movie Snowpiercer is same thing. Like, you ever seen the movie with Chris Evans? The very first half hours, is they eat these gelatinous black cubes, and they're like, "What is this thing that we eat in the poor car?" And it's apparently just ground up cockroaches that they turn into cubes for the poor to eat, while the rich are eating chicken and steak and stuff, right?
Sure.
But anyway,
and Oompa Loompas are somehow powering the train or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You watched that video, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
There's a great video that some guy put way too many hours of his life into, tying Charlie and the Chocolate, or Willy Wonka. Who's the guy? Charlie. Charlie. What the fuck is Charlie's name?
Charlie Bucket is the boy.
Charlie Bucket is actually the guy that's the Snowpiercer guy, because there's a CB on the door leading into the engine room or something, and then he mentioned something about how only Oompa Loompas could fit in that hole or something.
Peace out, Yomelia.
Oh, Yomelia. Yep, see you, Yomelia. And maybe I'll see you later this week. Who knows? Maybe even tomorrow. There's this weird. There's a weird theory. That Charlie Bucket, after getting the chocolate factory, and the world went to hell, he ended up being the guy who runs the Snowpiercer train and made it the way it is, because it has a little bit of that aesthetic and everything. Mm-hmm.
But it's such a weird fan theory. I like it because it's a weird fan theory. But yeah, that came out. Yeah, when that movie came out. Oh man, that was
also Grandpa Joe's an asshole.
Yeah,
Freeloading asshole.
They point out that he's the reason why Charlie got in trouble because he like pushed the issue about drinking the fizzy lifting drink, and he's also fakes being unable to move until Charlie gets the golden ticket, and then in the song, he talks about how it's his golden ticket and not Charlie's, and how he's the one who has a golden ticket, and so he's being selfish and being an asshole to Charlie.
Everybody's an asshole to him in that movie.
No, the mom's great.
She's so unrememberable that I couldn't even tell you that there was a mom in that movie. Was there even a dad?
There's a mom, no dad. She even has her own song in the movie. Like she has a whole song to herself.
That's
in Willy Wonka.
Yeah, that's how much of an impact the other characters in that movie made.
Well, it's also the most hated song in the movie, which is her song. So,
gotcha.
It's not surprising that you know. And then the little girl gets hit with the door in the Candyman song.
That's right.
So
yeah, with the because he flips it up and hits her in the chin, right? Yeah.
Yeah, hits her in the chin. Yeah, almost knocks her out.
Well, you know, there's
because the Candyman can.
The Candyman can, and also they were in England, and I'm pretty sure it's okay to hit kids in England, and also they were kids in a movie, so there weren't probably a lot of laws against it. I don't know. I'm just talking shit.
They never really specify where they are because they're like, there's people who speak with a British accent, and then there's the Bucket family who are all American. So it's like,
but they're clearly they're in a cobblestoned. We don't have cobblestones in fucking America.
No, it's supposed to be kind of Dutch, like kind of like
I can
Norwegian-y.
see that. It's definitely European and
not America.
In some way, shape, or form. Kind of like, Francis, the restaurant here called Casa Bonita. You may have heard of it if you are a South Park fan.
Right? Yes. I mean, I think that people have probably been following fairly closely thanks to Matt and Trey.
Yes. Well, the restaurant apparently is no closer to opening than it was last year when they said it would be opening nowish last year.
They're too busy spending their days creating South Park.
That could be true. That could be true. A quote I did see today, despite all the money that they're putting into it, was described as the worst episode of Kitchen Nightmare you can ever think of.
I haven't been to the website since we talked about it last year. I'm going to go now just to see if they did anything to it.
But
so
I would like to take you there. I wouldn't like to take you there. Well, it depends on
how they change it.
If it hadn't been changed and it had stayed the way it was, I would not have liked to have taken you there. I would have driven you past there and been like, "There's Casa Bonita. We're going to keep driving. I'll take you to a real Mexican restaurant." But since they bought it and they do plan to make the food better, and I assume that the food won't come out of a mysterious brick hole in the wall.
They could do that still. That's kind of the charm.
There was nothing charming about it. It's very disturbing. Just food trays coming out of a hole in the wall. But it's definitely something that, you know, it's you haven't been to Denver until you've been to Casa Bonita.
Right. I mean, look, well, I know. I would love to visit Casa Bonita someday. The website only has that it's under new management. It has a sticker, a wrinkled sticker for some reason that says under new management, and a mailing list that'll give you. You could sign up for their update mailing list so that they'll email you the progress of Casa Bonita. And the only other picture other than the front of Casa Bonita is the infamous waterfall where people would dive into the pool of blue chlorine water below.
I do believe they have taken out the fountain that was right out front of the building. And people were upset about that.
And currently, Google says its status is temporarily closed.
Yeah, well, that's what they said about all the dispensaries in Anaheim, too.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, but we know for sure that Casa Bonita is temporarily. We know
Yeah.
legitimately that it's temporarily closed.
Yes, yes.
Oh wow, it's in the middle of a shopping mall. Like that's weird.
Okay, so it's not in the middle
Like
of. It is a corner. It's in a strip mall.
it is.
It
Yeah.
is in a corner lot. It's got like 4 units of a corner. And yeah, like next door back in the day, 2 doors down was a fucking Hollywood Video.
So right now, apparently, this is from November 2021. There's an Adventure Dental Vision and Orthodontics right beside it,
I don't
and then
like
a
the
Dollar
sound
Tree.
of that at all. I don't want to fucking adventure and dental should not be in the same fucking sentence at all.
Well, their mascot is like a superhero with a toothbrush, like that's on their building.
What's up, listeners, mate?
Then there's Lakewood Arts Center and Gallery, and the Yabby Hut, now open. The Yabby Hut, which is a seafood kitchen,
Okay.
and Cece's Pizza, which I'm assuming
The
is
downfall of
good
CC's.
pizza. Oh,
Yeah, so it's just in a little strip mall. But once you walk inside, you walk right into Mexico City
it's a whole new world, literally.
without the copyrighted music. Yes.
Wow. This place
The
looks
outline of the Hollywood
crazy
video
out of
sign.
place.
The outline of the Hollywood video sign is still there. The last time I drove by, it says Swiss
go.
bullets. And then listeners, mate, I'm just setting in from the International Fiddlers Convention. 4 more days to go. I'm settling in from. So you already it already started
might be-
then.
Yeah, it might be already there.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope it's been fun so far. And the devil hasn't shown up to try and challenge anybody.
Well, you might get a fiddle of gold against your soul.
I'm glad you knew the lyrics.
Planet Fitness. Sorry, I'm just looking at this entire strip mall. This is crazy because it's just so out of place. But anyway.
No, but when
that's
you
too
walk
bad.
inside, Francis, it would be like that time you visited Mexico City.
I know. I will feel like I am transported to South America or to Central America, and experiencing all of the wonder that is Mexico City. Despite the fact that Mexico is very angry at the Californians who keep moving there and telling them to get out.
That is such strange irony. I don't even know how to react.
Oh my
to that.
goodness, it's really funny. It's really funny. Like I read that article, I'm like, oh man.
That is like some shit can't write itself, you know? Like,
No.
which
the biggest.
go ahead.
Go on, sorry.
No, go ahead.
They just said the biggest argument is that they are taking over their neighborhoods and changing their culture because of so many Americans.
Oh my God. Please tell me that was an Onion. It was an Onion article. It
I
has.
think it was NBC, ABC, one of those, CNN. I don't remember, but it was a legit article.
Well, as preposterous as that sounds, I might have something to finish this show up tonight, Francis, with a story that's probably even more preposterous.
Well, first off, I like the way you say preposterous. So
Do I not say it right?
You say it right.
Oh.
That's why I said I like the way you say preposterous.
Oh, good. Listeners, mate, about 2/3 of California belonged to Mexico in the 1860s.
Yeah, and apparently the president of Mexico at the time, or not the president, but the person who was ruling Mexico at the time was like, look, I don't want to be in your prison anymore. You have captured me, sure. So I'll make you a deal. I'll give you California if you set me free. And they're like, yeah, that's a good trade. And the Mexican people were angry about that ever since. And then he ended up dying anyway, like shortly afterwards. So
Interesting.
It was a bad deal all around.
Well, let me tell you about
yes.
this bad deal. Now, the validity of the story is hearsay. Okay. But
Okay.
the information that I'm getting, that I received, I have no reason to believe that the person that told me this would come up with this crazy story.
In other words, this is, as the Mexicans call, chisme or gossip.
It's yes, but it's from a very reliable source. So I'm willing to.
Gossip is still, reliable. It's just gossip.
Some okay, fine, fuck it. It's gossip. So, as the story was told to me, this is how it went. A group of people on a Friday the 13th all decided that all worked together. All decided to take advantage of a tattoo parlor that was giving away Friday the 13th free tattoos. The group of people all went and got matching free Friday the 13th tattoos.
Now, when you say free Friday the 13th tattoos,
Mm-hmm.
is it the date?
No. Well, in some cases.
7/13?
No, it would just be like Friday the 13th. Like the 13th.
Oh, it just says the
Friday.
words Friday the 13th. Oh,
Right. Or in a lot of tattoo parlors, they will put up 12 to 15 designs that are all tiny. I mean, they're like,
like the little stars or something like those.
yeah, like I have nothing like less than fucking 2-inch circle.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Like just something small that you could bust out really fast. It doesn't have a lot of detail. No color. It's just black. So they all go get the matching tattoo. So then fast forward to the next Friday the 13th.
Okay. Wait, so this was technically it was a year. Oh no.
I think
we
we've
have
had
two
two.
Friday the 13th this year?
We've had two this year.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Anyway,
Yeah, I'll take a look.
the next one came up. And some of the same people that went with the first group decided, let's do this again, and invited different people to go.
Okay.
The person that was with the first group didn't get invited, I guess, to go to the second Friday the 13th tattoo group gathering.
Okay.
This person that got ditched, let's call this person the ditchy. I don't know if they actually got ditched or they just weren't thought of, because why would you? I guess.
Sure. It's like if you're not in the group at the time,
Right.
you're not out of sight, out of mind. Sure.
So the ditcher finds out after the fact that certain people went and got a Friday the 13th tattoo and went to HR and complained that they were not included in an activity.
Oh my God.
Here's where the ridiculousness. We're going past the other word I use. I can't remember how to say it.
Preposterousness.
Right? Preposterousness. Yeah. Yes, thank you. I've put in syllables in the wrong place. They called in members of group number 2 to have a sit down with the ditchee from group 1.
Oh my God, I hate everything about this story.
One of the people that was called in had, since the first trip, been promoted to a lead.
Not the one that was ditched, but
Not the one that was ditched, just one of the people that was included in group 1 that was in group 2 over the course of being in group 1, or over the course of Friday the 13th 1 and Friday the 13th 2 had been promoted. Here's where it's ridiculous.
Right.
And this is where I'm just like, this can't be fucking, there's has to be part of the story that's missing. But they gave the lead an option to either apologize or quit because of the feelings that were hurt.
Oh my God.
Now, the place that the person works, which we won't say, I totally was like, I could see them doing that based on their track record.
Oh McDonald's. I mean,
Right. But let me just tell you something, Francis. Because I have actually been in a situation within the last 10 years where I did something where the employer found out about it, whether how they found out about it is still up for debate as far as the legality of how they did this. But when they discovered that I had talked some shit about my coworkers and asked me to apologize to them, I told that person to fucking kiss my ass and lick my taint, because I'm not apologizing for my opinion. Now, if I was in the same situation as the story that I just told and somebody asked me to apologize to somebody that was in a work group that I had done something with and didn't invite to the next one, I would be like, quit or apologize. Go get my stuff. I'm done. See you later. I'm not fuck you. Like, can you believe that?
I can, because that's the world we live in now.
Right. So that's why I'm saying it's preposterous. And
I mean,
and unbelievable. Yeah. But in the culture, it's totally feasible.
Well, yeah, in the culture, it makes sense, because I don't understand. I don't want to get into, because I will rant about this for another hour, because this stuff just I just want to throw a table every time I hear anything like this. Yeah, I think I'd do exactly the same thing and just be like, no, I quit.
Yeah.
Like, because guess what? My life outside of work has nothing to do with work. Like, nothing. It doesn't matter if I'm working with people or they're hanging out. I'm hanging out with people at work. That's my own business on my own time. It has nothing to do with this place. Yep. And if this asshole over here wants to make a big deal out of it, you say it to my face, or you can get out of here, because I'm not going to apologize for anything that I don't even feel I did wrong.
Right.
Stupid.
Like, until it's in a company's bylaws that that fucking if you invite somebody to something one time, you have to invite them going forward until the end of time, or they get fired or quit. Until that's in your handbook, I'm going to pull my ass out of my pants and line it up to your face. And then we have reason to fire me.
Right. Yeah. It's, oh my God.
But see, also in that situation, as much as I would want to just be like, oh yeah, no, fuck you, I'm out of here. Yeah. You have a open, shut, and closed case for unemployment.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So it would be almost better to get fired in that situation.
Oh yeah. Well, you can take this up to, I don't know what there's a 3-letter organization that you actually can bring this up to and be like, because you are it's technically illegal to fire someone over that. Like,
but in Colorado,
oh no, I know it's a no fault.
It's a no fault. So technically, you can get fired for having mismatched socks at will. Yeah, you can get fired for having mismatched socks.
That's true. Same in California. You're not wrong. Same in here. Yeah.
So I think there's definitely where in some cases you might have a case, and other places it's the loophole on the business side.
Yeah. I don't know. There's got to be something. Yeah, but that's not, again, your argument is like, the reason why I think you would have is that person would have a case if they got fired, and you could probably sue, is because it wasn't during work hours. It wasn't during, like, there's nothing work related to that that has anything to connect you to why you were fired. And that's why you could be like, well, screw you guys. I'm taking this to court. Like, this is stupid. Like, this is.
And here's where we would put the ad for the lawyer that sponsors us.
I get, yeah. Well, but they're local. See, the problem with lawyers is that they're always local. They're not like there's no
National lawyer
internet
service.
wide. Yeah,
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 yeah.
because they can only work within their jurisdiction. So
That's true. That's
unfortunately, I can be
true.
like, well, I've got, like one of the popular lawyers here is Larry H. Parker, and he had this commercial where this dude, he like won one dude $2 million for like a case, and for 10 years, that dude was in the commercial being like, I won $2
Oh
million
God.
dollars. This guy gave me $2 million, and I'm like, yeah, you've been saying that for 10 years. I get it.
Do you even
Like, I
have
got
that
it.
$2 million, sir?
Yeah, yeah. It's like exactly. It's like, do you still have? Well, he's getting paid for the commercial, I'm guessing. But like, come on. Like, yeah, this one dude gave you $2 million once. Stop talking about it. That happened 10 years ago. Leave it alone.
Listeners may ask if the tattoo was in an inappropriate spot or something. No, I mean I have no idea where the place was, where the tattoo was. But the
Wouldn't matter anyway.
placement of the tattoo is irrelevant to the fact that if Francis and I and you listeners may go get a tattoo sometime together, none of the three of us have any obligation and to call any of the two of us to see if we want to go get another tattoo.
Yeah, like if I go to a tattoo by myself, you guys can't get angry at me because I decide to get another tattoo.
Right.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. That just infuriates me. I hate everything about
I
this. I hate everything about what you just told me about. Like, I hate every aspect of it.
right.
With fiery passion.
And it's just like, when I heard it, I actually stopped what I was doing and turned to the person to look at them while they told me the story to see if they were bullshitting me. Because I was like, they have to be just telling this story to just, get a smile out of me or something, because there's no way this is real. It was real. Well, I have no reason. I have the source telling me this. I have no reason not to believe the source.
I was gonna say, like, even yeah, even there's a story that elaborate. There's always at least a little bit of a hint of truth.
Sure. And there's, it was only one side of it. And it was, like I said, it was technically on a hearsay sort of thing. So, I mean,
But I believe it. I'd 100% believe it. Just like you.
I totally believe it. I mean, look, when news agencies, dink news agencies are putting out articles that are, let me see if I can pull up the title still, Francis.
I have an article.
Oh, nope, everything refreshed. Something to the effect of, is there any science to teenagers wearing hoodies in the summer?
Oh, I saw that too. I didn't read it, but I saw that.
I peeked into it just enough so I can, I did jot something down to that effect, but as I started to read the article, I just thought it was stupid.
Well, I do another podcast where we look up articles all the time for like dating and relationship stuff, and a lot of times the articles are pretty stupid. They're like, one of them was, how do you know you're dating your friend? And it's like, what? You would know. Like,
yeah.
Like, you asked them out, and like you're going out and you're making out and you're like touching each other's bits. Like, you know you're dating. And it was pretty much like, oh, you spend a lot of time alone together, and oh, you asked them out on dates. It's like, yeah, you're dating your friends. Like, it was a really stupid article, but it's like somebody wrote that and put it out there as if it's a thing.
Wow, that's crazy. I mean, I don't know. I was gonna say something, but it sort of not make sense in my head. So,
it's all good.
It's better left unsaid, they say sometimes, Francis. You need a kidney. So everybody out there.
The only website I care about right now.
The only website Francis cares about right now, and I need to make a thing to pop up here on screen, so we can have some animation to go with it. But Francis is in need of a kidney, so if you got an extra one laying around, go to the website he's about to tell you about while I read what listeners may send in.
Well, I mean, I have to say it out loud, so I'm going to talk over you. But UCLAkidneydonor.org. And and then you hit me up on any social media, and I'll give you any additional information you may need to finish that questionnaire. But it's a questionnaire that gets you to see whether or not you're eligible to, let me borrow your kidney for the rest of my life. So if you can do that, that'd be amazing.
If Francis is my podcasting partner for life,
Yeah.
he could be your kidney brother for life.
Yeah.
So
I'll be your
it's
kidney bean or your
yeah.
kidney. Yeah.
We could come up with any kind of shipping name, but
Anyway, what is that?
Anyway,
what does listener may say?
listeners may still, I believe this still has to go with the tattoo, but I agree with you. But my question comes from a business standpoint. Many things like a tattoo in an inappropriate place or unconventional hair color, for example, it can make a company look bad. In most cases, the company ask for a tattoo to be covered. Without breaking kayfabe, I mean, there's a lot to unpack there, but without breaking kayfabe, the place in which this person is working has nothing to do with a face-to-face with customers. This was literally someone getting butt hurt that they were not invited to go get another Friday the 13th tattoo with a group or members of a group that they went with on the prior Friday the 13th.
And weirdly enough, listeners, mate, as a kind of an aside to that, is more and more companies are actually now allowing for tattoos and colored hair because it's kind of like what's in vogue right now with a lot of people. Like, you're not going to get the younger generations because a lot of the younger generation has tattoos and colored hair.
Yep.
I mean, and you know this, and the reason why I know this is because Disney finally said, okay, fine, you can work for us with tattoos you can see and hair that's not your natural color.
They also go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying that was just something they fought for years, for decades, and they just recently said that's cool now. You can work with those things.
Well, they spend so much time worrying about somebody's hair color, but they forget to check people's backgrounds. And hired a sex offender, earlier 2 years ago. That was a former wrestler that had a bunch of cases against him.
What?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I'm drawing a blank on the wrestler's name, but one of his wrestling moves involved opponents, male, female, grabbing his dick and being thrown around the ring by his dick. As soon as you say the name, if you're looking, I'm sure.
I'm looking. The first name that pops up is Joey Ryan, but
yes, that's it.
Oh, it is. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Joey Ryan was that's his wrestling name. He applied to Disney under his real name. And,
Joseph Meehan. Yeah.
And was hired. He was working on a ride. He was a ride operator.
The Jungle Cruise.
The Jungle Cruise, apparently. Jokes. Somebody fucking took a picture of him and was like, isn't that fucking Joey Ryan? The dick wrestler? Yeah. And and then Disney found out about it because people blew up about it on Twitter and they fired him from Disney. Or they at least removed him from public eye. But he bleached his hair or dyed his hair a different color and got rid of his porn stash. And
I mean, it's kind of sad that he went from wrestler to cast member at Disney.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a cast member at Disney. That's kind of cool and fun. But he's a wrestler though. I don't know. I just feel like those two worlds are so far apart.
Mm-hmm. For
it's
now.
Like saying, right.
They are for now because the big fucking talk for the last couple of years was that Vince was getting the WWE ready to sell to Disney. Yeah. Now with Vince gone, who knows? But I don't even there's a program I'd stop watching if Disney owned it.
Undertaker retires and becomes the host of the Haunted Mansion.
Right. Fucking showing up in movies and shit with Scooby-Doo. I think he already did that, but Anyway, Francis, where can people find you on the internets or maybe in your hometown? Oops, wrong button. Maybe in your hometown if they were stalkerish.
I mean, yeah, come to Southern California. I'll show you the Italian ice place where the back of Josh's head was taken a picture of.
Giggity.
Just yeah, I have a podcast called Is This Love Pod. Just go to isthislove.podbean.com and go check it out because we're building listeners and we want to build it. Looks like we're getting slowly but surely just getting more and more people listening in. So check it out.
You should tell them about this show when you're at the end of that show.
Yeah. Well, that's true. I should because I don't talk about any other show. I don't talk about any other show on.
That's probably why you have listeners because they don't know about the other shows.
It's like, we just have this one. I'm telling you, we just need to get Savannah back. That'll bring the spice back to the show.
Right. Well, hopefully she will be back. Hopefully sometime in the future when she's done moving houses or whatever she's doing. Super Geeked Up tomorrow?
Yes.
Where can you find that?
Supergeekedup.com.
Then this comes out on next week, so hopefully there's
there's gonna
hopefully
be
there's an episode. Hopefully there's an episode next Wednesday as well as tomorrow as we record things. That's your thing. This is our thing. You've been watching our thing. We appreciate you watching our thing. We would love for you to participate in our thing. You can do that by emailing us at thepoipodcast@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at, POI Podcast. You can call, text, or voicemail at 314-764-7631. What are you laughing at?
Because you're like, what? Like you did.
All I have to do is look up at the top of the screen. I can see it all.
I was going to say.
I don't know why I sit there and try to remember it, but that's everything. Definitely take advantage of one of those things. Call in. We will have you on the show and talk. We can have fun. We will critique your name. We'll do all the things. Send us $5 or more. We'll give you a dick rating too. That'll be on the Patreon.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's everything. I don't want to hit the button again. So bye.
Bye.